Welcome to today's explainer. If you've ever felt like your conversational English gets tripped up by clunky grammar habits, well, you're absolutely not alone. We're going to figure this out together. Today is all about discovering how to really level up your fluency and smooth out those tricky sentence structures for good. Okay, check this out. Read this sentence aloud with me. Driving in heavy traffic, it is exhausting for new drivers. Does that sound just slightly off to your ears? Like something's kind of getting in the way? If it does, your instincts are spot on. That right there is literally one of the most common fluency traps out there, and today we're going to solve it. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our fluency roadmap, so you know exactly which skills we're unlocking today. We'll start with 2 patterns, 1 meaning, move on to the mixing trap, hit the 4 rule, then discussing age correctly, meet your spouse, and we'll wrap it all up with a final fluency check. All right, section 1. 2 patterns, 1 meaning. So when we want to say an activity has a certain vibe to it, like it's really fun, super hard, or totally exhausting, English actually gives us 2 different patterns that mean the exact same thing. It's like having 2 perfectly good tools for the same job. In pattern A, the activity itself is the star of the show, it's the subject, but over in pattern B, the word it acts as a placeholder subject, and the actual activity gets pushed all the way to the end of the sentence. And here's the thing, native speakers jump between these 2 flawlessly depending on what they want to emphasize. Which brings us to section 2, the mixing trap. Now, the problem doesn't come from choosing pattern A or pattern B. Nope, it comes from accidentally mashing them together. This is the danger zone, folks. So the crucial point is watching out for these 3 specific mix-ups. Number 1, starting with an ing verb, but randomly throwing an it right in the middle. Number 2, starting with it, but completely forgetting the word to. Or number 3, just dropping it entirely from pattern B. Let's hear how that first one sounds out loud. Driving in heavy traffic, it is exhausting. Notice how clunky and overly wordy that sounds? You're basically giving the poor sentence 2 subjects. It's like trying to put 2 steering wheels in one car. We want the clean, natural-sounding version. Driving in heavy traffic is exhausting. Much better. Just stick to the activity as the subject and let it flow. And here's another huge trap, dropping it completely. Saying was exhausting for new drivers to drive might feel like a quick shortcut, but every sentence absolutely needs a subject. The easy fix? Just pop it back in. It was exhausting for new drivers to drive. The golden rule here is to literally just pick your pattern before you open your mouth and stick to it all the way to the end of the sentence. Moving right along to section 3, the 4 rule. Okay, so once you've picked your pattern, you usually need to name the person who actually finds the activity easy, hard, or relaxing, right? Well, there is a hard and fast rule here. You must always use for and absolutely never use to. I hear it's relaxing to me all the time, and it's a super common mistake. You want to shift that immediately to it's relaxing for me. It's a simple swap, but it makes a massive difference in fluency. But wait, there's a part 2 to this rule. Right after you use for plus a person, the verb that comes next has to be the infinitive with to. It can never ever be the ing form. Saying something like, it's important for a doctor stayed calm, just instantly trips up the ear. The winning combination is right there on the right. It's important for a doctor to stay calm. For a doctor to stay. Lock that pattern into your brain. All right, let's switch gears a bit for section 4, discussing age correctly. Let's do a quick, super useful vocabulary fix. How do you express someone's approximate age naturally, like a native speaker? Well, you don't usually guess exact numbers. Instead, you use this progression of decades. You say someone is in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, or in their 50s. And this brilliantly illustrates the visual timeline of how we talk about age in everyday conversation. Now, 2 specific things constantly go wrong here for learners. First, saying someone is after 50. Honestly, we just don't say that in conversational English. Second, forgetting the plural s, or even worse, throwing in weird apostrophes like in his 50'd apostrophe s. No way. The absolute cleanest, most natural phrasing is simply, my uncle is in his 50s. Plural s, no apostrophe. Done. But what if you're talking about a mixed group of people spanning across 2 different decades? It's actually wonderfully simple. You just link the 2 decade words with and. For instance, most of the runners were in their 30s and 40s. It's simple, it's elegant, and it sounds perfectly native.
Next up, Section 5. Meet your spouse.
This is such a great vocabulary unlock, and it is going to save you from some seriously repetitive phrasing. Think about it. When you're talking about a group of married couples, saying husbands and wives over and over again gets pretty tiring, right? Well, enter the word spouse. It's a single, totally gender-neutral word used for a husband or a wife. Throwing this word into the mix instantly streamlines your sentences. You do have to keep the spelling simple, though. The singular is just spouse, and please, no apostrophe unless you are actively showing possession, like saying my spouse's car. The plural is just spouses. Just slap an S on the end, 0 apostrophes. Do not write spouse apostrophe S for plural, and definitely don't make up words like spousies. I mean, spousies sounds a bit like a breakfast cereal, doesn't it? Let's just keep it clean and simple. And finally, Section 6, Final Fluency Check. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it's going to prove exactly how much fluency you've gained in just a few short minutes. Let's make this interactive. Read these out loud with me. Sentence 1. It isn't easy for beginners to understand British accents. And sentence 2. Understanding British accents isn't easy for beginners. Okay, challenge time. Can you identify which one is pattern A and which one is pattern B? Look closely for the subject. If both of those sentences sound completely natural to your ear right now, and more importantly, you know exactly why each one uses it or an ing verb, then congratulations, you're ready. We've successfully cracked the code together. So I want to leave you with a quick thought. Now that these tricky patterns are starting to really click, how are you going to use them to sound more confident and effortless in your very next English conversation? Think about it. Keep practicing, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next explainer.